go shoot up a school. Let me go blow up a building. But see, we're supposed to be there with our children, not leave them to the TV,
so
the internet.
Mixing it up, right?
Think about your daughters, man. You let your daughter come home from school, she be in the house by herself,
You get them for a second.
but she got 10 dudes in the house.
Then you might pan.
They teaching her how to drink, how to have sex.
You might pan.
Where the parents at?
Talking, kind of get them into
Where's Pops at? Where's Mom at? Where's Grandma at? Well, Grandma's out busy trying to chase her dreams. Mom's is working 2 jobs, and Dad ain't there. Dad ain't around. Because why? He's off doing his thing, chasing women, making more kids that he can't teach, building more unprofitable children that he's not willing to raise in wisdom. So now his daughter is left alone. Now your sons are left alone, left to destroy themselves. And all it does is bring you shame. All it does is bring them death, destruction. But the point is, we need to be coming back to wisdom. We need to be coming back to stability. We need to be coming back to a peace of mind. We need to be getting out of the violence, getting out of the hood, getting off the drugs, getting off the weed, getting off of this TV, the music. Think about the music that your children listen to. It's 10 times more evil and demonic than what you listen to. Think about the TV shows that your kids watch. Now they got homosexuality all on TV. Men kissing on every show. You got homosexual cartoons. You got homosexual Disney shows. Think about it. You got the Disney Channel talking about homosexuality. And your kids are watching that. You leave him alone because you're too lazy to babysit your own kid. So he's sitting there just watching the Disney Channel, watching men kiss. He's watching movies with killing. Now he wants to be a killer. You got him watching Netflix and YouTube. YouTube is a dark place, man. You leave a 3-year-old to watch YouTube, who knows what he's going to develop into? He'll be a damn killer, emo, homosexual, whatever. Because that's what's all on YouTube, man. It's nothing but twerking. It's nothing but exploiting women, exploiting our children. There's no wisdom in YouTube. There's no wisdom on Netflix. We got to come out of, as parents, we got to come up out of that lazy mind state of, I'm going to let the TV babysit my child. Or I'm going to let the streets raise my child. You know, some of y'all parents, you kick your kids out the house, don't come back till the lights come on. You kick them out the house at 10 in the morning, and they don't come back till 10 at night. What the hell you think they gonna learn? And then you wonder why, at the age of 20, they either dead or out there killing people. Because the hood raised them. You let the hood raise your children. You let the hood raise your daughter. That's why she's pregnant at 12. You let the hood raise her. That's why she got 3 kids at 18.
That's right.
6 kids at 25. And 2 STDs. And you wondering like, not my baby. How could this have happened? Or your son gets shot at 15 by some cops and you wondering, oh Lord, that's when you want to pray to the Lord. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Why did this happen to my baby? Because you wasn't there to raise your baby. You had your baby running around the streets like a man. So he got dealt with like a man. When these cops are out there strangling your kids and roughing them up and beating them up and abusing them, that's your fault. That's your bad. Because you should have been a parent to your child. You should have been raising your children. You should have taught them how to do some chores. You should have taught them morality. You should have taught them the law. You should have brought them into wisdom.
That's right.
But you're bringing your children into death. And then you don't even want to correct them when they do bad things. You think it's okay, like, oh, they'll just grow out of it. You got these little bad 5-year-olds beating up their moms and punching them in the face and cursing their moms out. And you just say, you know what? Oh, he'll grow out of it. Little Elijah, he'll grow out of that. Go to Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Yeah, go back to Deuteronomy 6 and verse 7. Because this is the point. This is where we go wrong. This is what we forget we have to do. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
You're supposed to teach them to your children diligently. Go to Psalms 78 and verse 3. This is our problem. We don't want to teach nothing to our children, man. As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you'd rather not even talk to your children. You'd rather just sit in the house at the dinner table and be silent. You'd rather just sit there and come home from work because your day was so hard and let your kids just struggle. But what are they struggling with? They're struggling with the bounds of this world. Think about what children have to go through in this life. Think about children today in this society, the things that are fed to them. They don't know what sexuality they want to be. They don't know if they should be with men or be with women. They don't know if they should be on drugs or not be on drugs. They don't know how to handle their problems. They don't know how not to handle their problems. All they want to do is sleep and get high. But why? Because they have no one to talk to. There's no one showing them the correct mind state of how to be. Read that, Psalm 78 verse 3.
Which we have heard and known.
Read.
And our fathers have told us.
And our fathers did what?
Told us.
Didn't talk to us.
Told us.
Act like we weren't there.
Told us.
Man, I hate this little Negro.
Told us.
Read.
We will not hide them from their children.
Yeah, but see, y'all hide the wrong things from y'all children. Y'all hide the wrong thing. You hide wisdom from your children, but show them how to twerk. You hide the wisdom, but show them how to roll blunts. You hide wisdom, but show them where you keep your 40s and where you keep the guns. See, you hide wisdom, but you show them all the carnal things that bring them death. You hide wisdom, but show your kids how to have sex. You hide wisdom, but show your kids how to wild out in the streets. And then wonder why they end up shot and beat up. Wonder why they keep pushing the same cycle of being in the hood and being in the ghettos. Wonder why they can't keep a job. Wonder why they can't graduate high school. Because you're not teaching them no discipline, no diligence, no consistency. But you teach them how to keep that car clean, how to keep them rims shiny, how to cop the new J's, right? They know how to go through the mall and rip through the mall and spend the rent money on a Gucci belt. You teach them that. You'll teach them how to spend your rent money on Gucci and spend the rent money on some new Louis loafers. But you won't teach your kid how to save. You won't teach your kid how to build his family, how to build a wife, how to build his children. But you show them how to rip through the mall and spend some bands. You show them how to get bands. You show them what bands even do. Because bands make them dance, right? Bands will make them dance. That's all these little kids know. Molly Percocet. Bands will make them dance. Gucci. Go get the bag. That's all these children know. How about get the wisdom? How about wisdom will make them smart? How about wisdom will keep them stable? How about wisdom of the law will keep them stable and grounded and save their life and keep them away from getting shot by cops? How about showing them real strength through the wisdom of God?
That's right.
How about bringing them back to the laws of the dietary? How about showing them how to deal with their neighbor, how to love their brother? How about showing them that bunnies don't lay eggs?
That's right.
And that a fat white man don't come down chimneys and give gifts and flies around the world on reindeer? When y'all gonna stop lying to y'all's children? You'll hide wisdom, but tell them that bunnies lay eggs. What kind of madness is that? You'll hide wisdom and lie to your kids and tell them that Santa Claus is real. You'll hide wisdom, but have your kids celebrating Halloween and dressing them up like ghouls and goblins. You'll hide wisdom, but teach your kids how to sell drugs and how to bottle up and cut crack. You'll hide wisdom. You'll hide wisdom but not bring your children to life. You'll hide wisdom but not even talk to your kids about their day in school. Not talk to them about their aspirations besides being a ball player or being a damn singer or being a damn drug dealer or just getting flat out, I'm just here to get money. You'll teach your kids everything else but what true wisdom is and what true life and true stability can bring them through the laws statutes and commandments of God. Read where you at.
Showing to the generation to come.
Read the top.
We will not hide we will not hide them from their children.
We're not supposed to hide this wisdom, these laws from our children, brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to hide this. You're supposed to hide the guns, hide the drugs, hide the liquor. Don't hide the wisdom. Don't hide the law. This is what you're supposed to talk about day and night. Not what the Kardashians are doing. Not what the Balls are doing. Not what's going on in the NBA. Not what LeBron did last night. He scored 40, 10, and 9. Who gives a damn? What is that going to do for your children? What does it do for your children to know that the new Jordans are dropping tomorrow? What does that do? Or the new Robin Wings is out. Or how to keep the rims shiny. Or how to gloss up the paint, the candy paint. What wisdom is that? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 23. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 23.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 23. Hast thou children?
Do you? Do you have children? A lot of y'all do have children. But are you a real parent? Are you a father? A father don't just mean you injected sperm into a woman and that was it. A father don't mean you go to work, come home, and ignore your family. A mother ain't just a woman that carried a baby for 9 months. It was about nurturing and growing and building. For us, as the true Jews, as the blacks, Hispanics, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics and natives, our tradition was to teach our children about the Most High. And that was their heritage. Not teaching them how to get a 401k or how to get the latest job at HEB. It wasn't about that. It was about growing in the law of the Most High first and knowing that everything else would follow. Go back to Psalms. Read it again. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 23, 7 and verse 23. Hast thou children?
Go ahead.
Instruct them.
Do what?
Instruct them.
Ignore them.
Instruct them.
Act like they ain't there.
Instruct them.
Let them live on their own.
Instruct them.
Send them out on the streets to be raised by the hood.
Instruct them.
Surely the homeboys is going to raise my kids.
Instruct them.
Wait. I'm going to send them off to basketball camp every summer so they can be a star.
Instruct them.
We're supposed to instruct our kids through the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. Go back to Psalm 78 and verse 3.
Psalms chapter 78 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
Read on.
We will not hide
Read.
them from their children,
Read on.
showing to the generation to come of praises of the Most High.
And this was the point. We were supposed to show this to our children for the generation to come. For what? So you can stop living at the bottom of the totem pole, physically and mentally. So you could get up out the slums, so you could get up off the drugs. It was really about us breaking the cycle that we've been put in by our oppressors. It's about breaking that stronghold, breaking that mental yoke that the white man got on you. Got you thinking it's about chasing cars and houses, and chasing money, and chasing women, and chasing the American dream. It was about showing our kids that there was something more to life than the material things. It was something more to life than how many likes you getting on Facebook, and how many likes you getting on Instagram, and how many people watch my Snap. That's what it was about. It was about bringing our children back to life so they could bring their children to life, so the generations to come would be prosperous. Read on.
And his strength and his wonderful works that he had done.
You see that? This is what it was about. It was about showing our children about the Most High and about the things that he's done for our people. It's about showing our children their true history, that they're not Gentiles, that they're not niggas, that they're not Negroes, that they're not colored, that they're not black, that they're not Mexicans, that they're not Puerto Ricans, El Salvadorians. that they're the true children of God, that they're the real 12 tribes of the house of Israel. Not little spicks and spooks and wetbags and porch monkeys. We have to come back and show our children their real history and bring them back to who they really were. From there, go to Ecclesiastes 30 and verse. Go to Ecclesiastes 16 and verse 1. Because this was the problem, man. You don't train your child. You don't teach your child the wisdom. This is what they become. They become unprofitable. See, we were supposed to train our children up so they could train the next generation to come. So that your grandchildren weren't a bunch of little snot-nosed dirtbags running the streets, beating up old people. Think about it. Half of y'all got grandchildren that don't even come visit y'all. Half of y'all got grandkids that won't come visit you. But guess what they want? They'll come for you for that money. They'll throw you up in the old folks' home real quick and take that pension that you got. But they don't come visit you. They don't come see grandma. They don't come see grandpa. Because nobody taught them that it was valuable. Nobody taught them to honor their mother and their father. No one taught them one of the 10 commandments. No one taught them Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. Go there. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear me, your father,
Read.
O children,
Read.
and do thereafter,
Read.
that ye may be safe.
Now you see why your children ain't safe in these streets. It ain't safe no more. Now you see why you can't even let your children walk home from school without getting abducted. Every minute there's an Amber Alert. Little black baby abducted. White Chevy Colorado, right? Every 5 minutes there's an abduction. Green, green Econo van, license plate, such and such. Little black baby, little Mexican girl. Why? Because you didn't teach them wisdom. You didn't even have the wisdom to understand that. Listen, I can't let my little 5-year-old walk home from school by herself. I can't let my little son walk home from school. I didn't instill in them wisdom on how to protect themselves. You didn't put wisdom in your children. That's why we keep being year after year, generation after generation. Look at where we at. Ask yourself, has the condition of the black man, has the condition of the Hispanic man, has the condition of the Native American Indian man gotten better? Or has it gotten worse? Has it gotten better for you, black men? Has it gotten better for you, Hispanic man? No, of course not. Because the same children you were supposed to raise, those are the ones that are raising up on you, trying to rob you, trying to kill you. You got the children going against the older generation. They ain't got no respect for the OGs. They got no respect for their elders. They running around playing the knockout game. Where I'm gonna run up to the first old person I see and punch him in the face and knock him out. That's what our children are learning. But they don't have wisdom. Read on.
For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children.
But now you ain't got no honor of your children. Your kid is looking at you like you ain't spit. Because your example is garbage. The father's example, the only way you can be honorable is if you lay out a good example. But since your example is one of pimping, drug dealing, and drinking, getting high, your kid ain't got no honor and respect for you. He looking at you like, man, this is what my father, this is my dad. He's embarrassed of you. Since you women, you show up to your kid's school half-assed naked, they like, damn, whose mama is that? That ain't my mama. Wow. That ain't my mama. She ain't got your mom walk up to school with no clothes on. You women, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
That's right,
you walking around with spandex so tight, you can see your inwards. Walking around, going up to your kid's school with no bra on. Your kids are embarrassed of you. Whose mom is that? I don't know. Now your kids are denying you because you don't carry yourself with a standard. Because you disobey the law, they're like, I ain't got no honor in those parents. Read on.
And hath conferred the authority of the mother of the son.
Go ahead.
Whoso honoreth his father, maketh an atonement for his sin.
But there is no honor for the fathers in this world. There is no honor for the black fathers. First of all, the black fathers is barely even there. You're barely around to raise your kids. You're barely around for your kids to honor you. And there's a few things. Why? Because you got your own agenda. You got your Deuteronomy 28:54. You got your own agenda. You too busy caught up in your vehicle. You too busy caught up at work, getting your pockets fat, chasing the bag, and your kids are suffering. So they sitting back like, damn, where's my daddy? Where's my mom? And you think that you can hand them off a credit card or hand them off some gift to appease you not being there. You're trying to pay your kids off because you don't want to be around to raise them. Because you're too lazy to instill values, laws, and statutes of the Most High into your children. Read that, Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 58.
Go ahead.
54. So that the man that is tender among you,
Go ahead.
and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
That's why you got so much evil in the world, man, amongst the black, Hispanic, and Native community. Because the children ain't being taught. They're not being taught that you got the Hispanic kids hating the black kids. You got the blacks hating the Hispanics. And then you got both of them hating the Indians. Everyone hates the Native American. But they're not being taught that that's your brother. That's your real brother. By blood, by nationality.
That's right.
So it's nothing but fighting. It's nothing but contention. It's nothing but hate. So now brother's eyes are evil towards brother. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And he also hates his wife. Because he don't want to teach her nothing. So she just roams the streets, act however she want to act, bring shame to the household. Now he's hating on her. She's walking around dressed half naked, breast out, tight spandex. She don't get in order, so guess what dad got to do? He got to beat her in order. So now his eyes is evil. Now the son sees that, so what does he do? He don't respect moms. And he don't respect dad. He don't respect either one of y'all. Because dad is beating mom, mom is getting beat by dad, she don't stand up for herself, so it's this bad cycle. Bad economics is what I call it.
That's right.
Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And then again, the black man, the Hispanic man, you ain't even there for your children half the time. You ain't even there to teach them either way it goes. You can't teach them a good or a bad example. You're teaching them the example that it's not important to be around, that it doesn't matter. Why do you think your children go through so much torment? They don't have nobody to talk to. They don't have no real examples of what a man is. They don't have no real examples of how a woman should carry herself. Why do you think your daughters run around twerking at the age of 5? Why do you think your daughters is talking about boyfriends at the age of 7? Because all they're doing is picking up what they see in school. Why do you think your daughter knows more lyrics to Cardi B than her damn ABCs at the age of 3?
Yep.
That's right.
Why do you think your son can rap every lyric to The Weeknd or every lyric to Future at the age of 5?
That's what they
Because that's what you're training your child in.
There you go.
You're training them on YouTube to watch all the music videos. What about training them in the law? What about having them learn their prayers? What about the Our Father prayer? What about keeping their mind right and geared towards prosperity? And keeping them out of trouble so that when they hit these streets, they ain't getting shot like damn cattle. They ain't getting shot like dogs. Or they don't walk around the street with anxiety, ready to kill the first person that comes in range. They'll turn into some damn school shooter. Because that's going to be the next thing. It was a wave of white boys just running through killing people in schools. Next, the blacks, Hispanics, monkey see, monkey do. Oh, the white boys is doing it, so it got to be cool. But guess what? It ain't that it's cool. It's that there's no one there to guide the children's minds out of that anxiety. There's no one there to show them that, hey, it's okay to talk. It's okay to let me know what's on your mind. It's okay to open up. It's okay to communicate. See, the blacks and the Hispanics, we love to show our children that communication don't matter. You take car, you pick your kid up from school, you ride with them 30 minutes, you don't say not one word. You don't ask them how their day was. You don't ask them what they're dealing with, what they're going through. You rather just be silent. And what? The whole time they got emotions, they got people picking on them, They got school, they got all these things bottled up inside of them. But there's no way to alleviate that. So what do? The only way to get relief is to get high, to get drunk, to have sex, right? Because they feel like nobody loves them. So what are these little young girls gonna do? They gonna make babies. Because surely if my daddy don't love me, my mama don't love me, of course, surely my baby that I'm gonna make is gonna love me. So she's just making a bunch of babies thinking that that's the way to find love. Or sleep with a bunch of different men because that's what love is. Because dad didn't show her what real love was. Because mom didn't take the time to show her how to be a real woman. This is what you haven't shown your children. Job chapter 12 and verse 16.
Job chapter 12 and verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. Strength and wisdom.
This is what we were supposed to teach our children. Strength and wisdom. Strength and wisdom was what we were supposed to show our children from the Most High. Strength on how to deal with issues, how to deal with problems, how to get through things in life, and the wisdom on how to maneuver through this wicked world. This is what you were supposed to teach your children. Not to conform to the world, not to fall into the grips of the world, not to become a damn victim, not to be victimized by the world, but to overcome the world. Read that.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7 and verse 19. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise.
It does what?
Strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man of...
That's it on that. See, wisdom strengthens the wise. But think about it. Where's your strength lie? Your strength lies in the BMW, the 1984 BMW with the rust. Your strength lies in the 2007 minivan that you're trying to still hold on to. Your strength lies in the Chevy that's going to break down in a year anyway. Your strength lies in the house that you can barely keep up payments on. Your strength lies in the job that just uses and abuses you. They can fire you at any minute. You barely holding on. That's what you put your strength into. Instead of saying, you know what? Let me put my strength into my children to build them. Let me put some wisdom into my child to build their mind and guide them. You want to put strength into everything else. The things that don't matter. Jump back to Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 2.
Good. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 2. For the Lord had given the father honor over the children, and had confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that lay up treasure.
And this is what you're supposed to be teaching your kids, to honor you through your example. You know why your kids don't honor you? You don't honor your parents. You didn't honor your mother and your father. Because as soon as you had a disagreement, you cut them off.
That's right.
As soon as they got old, you threw them in the old folks' home. As soon as they became unusable to you, you stopped visiting them. As soon as you said, you know what, they're telling me things I don't want to hear, you stopped dealing with them. And you taught that to your children. You taught that that's the way you're supposed to deal. So guess what happens? When you come to them with wisdom, guess what they're going to do? When they don't want to hear it, they're going to cut you off. They're going to reject you. They're going to put you in the old folks' home. They're going to kick you to the curb. That's what they're going to do. And then come back and be like, let me get some of that Social Security check. Right? They're going to ask you for money. But they don't want to be around you. Why? Because they don't want to hear wisdom from you. Because you never taught them in the beginning. You never gave them a good example. Go to 30 and 3. Yeah, now you're stealing my scriptures. Ecclesiastes 30 and verse 3. This is what you should have been teaching your children. Listen, if y'all want to get up out of here, man, at the end of the day, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to come back to. This is what you should want more for your children than what you have. You shouldn't want your children to have to go work some damn job for the white man and be a slave. You shouldn't want your child to be working paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
You shouldn't want your child to be hiding up on the block for 15 hours a day trying to get a bag. That's not what you should want for your children. You should want something better. But how you gonna give them something better if you don't want nothing better for yourself? How you gonna want something better for them? Like, oh, I'm here hustling for my child. Hustling what? Hustling at a job? Your kids can't inherit Walmart. They can't inherit Extra Space Store. They can't inherit your job. They can't live off of that. A few bucks at Walmart ain't gonna cut it. You gotta give your children wisdom to maneuver in this life. Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
He that teacheth his son,
What?
teacheth his son, grieveth the enemy.
This was the point. This is how we grieve the enemy. This is how we get the white man off our back. This is how we get the oppressor off our back. You're supposed to teach your son the things that you knew in wisdom and in righteousness to get us about the oppression and get the slave master off us. Get him out of that mental slavery. This is how you grieve your enemy. You teach your son. Read on.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Go ahead.
Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Man, and some of you Negroes, you rejoice in some kids that are just plain out evil. Y'all rejoice in y'all kid because they got a little bit of money. But how do you get that money? You rejoice in your kid because she's a ballerina and dancing around and she can sing good and she can twerk good. Oh, look at my baby. She knows all the lyrics to Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. Look at my baby. She looks just like the Kardashians. Look at my baby. Yeah, my baby Portia. She can recite all the lyrics to Nicki Minaj. And that's what you take pride in. You take pride in some of the things that don't even matter. We're supposed to be taking pride in much more with our children. Read on.
For he had left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him.
Go ahead.
And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Think about it, man. How many of y'all, when you die, you gonna feel good leaving your children behind? How many of y'all, when y'all pass on, can say, you know what? I left my children a stable inheritance. I gave him the right information. I left him something that he can build on, even if it's not material. I left him with enough wisdom for him to carry on a prosperous and righteous life.
That's right.
But that don't happen in the black and Hispanic community. The only thing you pass on to your son is the old rusty Buick, the old 85 Cutlass. That's the only thing we got. And some dirty ass rims that he gotta go repaint and get re-dipped. Yeah, my daddy, he left me the car. And some debt. That's all we leave our kids is debt, a hospital bill, and the car.
Get on YouTube on your other phone.
Yeah.
You barely can leave your kids the house. At least leave them a house. But the point is, let's leave our kids wisdom. Let's start growing our kids up in wisdom so that when the things that they do need, they're more easily attainable. So that when they go and maneuver out in the streets, they're not getting pulled over and arguing with the cops. And they're getting shot in the face. Getting shot like cattle, man. We're supposed to be teaching our children the things that will help them prosper. Read on.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds.
Go ahead.
And his bowels will be troubled at every cry.
Yeah, a lot of y'all make too much of y'all's children as if they're really doing something in life. When they're not. They're barely passing the 5th grade. They barely can read good. They can barely spell. But you take more pride in the fact that they know all the Nicki Minaj lyrics. That they know all the Cardi B lyrics. You take more pride that they can dress up like the little chicks on Love and Hip Hop than they can read. Your kids can't even read good. They can't even spell their name. But they know all the lyrics to The Weeknd. They know all the dance moves to Bruno Mars. They can dance all his dances. When you tell little Timmy to spell his name, he can't even spell. He can't even say his ABCs. But see, we're supposed to be teaching our children the values of life. We're supposed to train them up early. Go back to Proverbs 22:6. We're supposed to train them up early. Not when it's too late, not when they're already influenced.
That's right.
And already destroyed by the world. It's like, oh, my daughter got raped, she got abused by 10 men, she got 50 kids. Now I'm gonna talk to her. Now I'm gonna get her mind right. Hell nah, it's too late. She's already been ran through and destroyed.
That's right.
Your son got shot 50 times and he's on his deathbed. Oh, now I'm gonna go talk to him and teach him Jesus. The nigga's about to die. He got shot 50 times. Now you want to bring Jesus in his life? You should have did that before he was on the block. You should have did that before he got shot. You should have did that when you had him sitting up in the house playing video games 23 out of 24 hours. You should have did that before you had him watching YouTube when he was 3 years old, half his day. Half his day he slept, the other half he watched YouTube. He didn't even eat. He just YouTube and slept. You built a lazy child. Now he's in the streets. He don't know nothing. He don't know how to maneuver through life. He don't know how to assimilate with people. Cops pull him over, walk up on him. He start talking back. They put a bullet in him. Now you like, damn, I should have taught my son something. I should have taught little Elijah how to be respectable. I should have taught little Matthew how to respect his elders. Too late. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
And this is the point, man. We're supposed to train our children from a young age. A lot of us have young children, very impressionable. Children are like sponges. They soak up everything. So they're going to be following our examples. They're going to be following whatever example is laid down to them, whether it be righteous or wicked. That's what they're going to follow and attain to. So the whole point, we want to come back to the laws, the statutes, the commandments, not just for ourselves, but for our children and for our children's children, for their prosperity. And with that, the next brother will come up to further edify you in the word, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High.
Right, shalom with that. Give me Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31.